Alright, hello everyone. Kumusta? Ang topic natin ngayon, makakarelate ang mga psych majors dyan. Pag-uusapan natin ang Zone of Proximal Development, also known as ZPD. Everybody say ZPD. Anong unang yung naiisip kapag ZPD? Dapat yung cognitive psychology. Kasi dyan talaga pinag-uusapan yung ZPD. This ZPD is a theory of learning. Basically, ang ZPD, sinasagot niya yung question kung paano ba natututo ang tao. Paano ba tayo nag intellectually grow? Paano ba tayo gumagaling sa mga bagay-bagay? Paano ka gumaling magsulat? Paano ka gumaling mag-basketball? Paano ka natuto magmura? Believe it or not, those questions can be answered by the ZPD. So it is a theory of learning, kaya pinag-uusapan yan dito sa cognitive psychology. Ang nagpauso ng ZPD na yan, si Lev Vygotsky, kilala natin to, asawa ni? Very good. Dean's Lister talaga kayo, no? Mrs. Vygotsky. Ito yung definition niya ng ZPD. Basahin niyo na lang on your own. Alam niyo naman si Sir Howard, pag English, dumudugo ilong ko dyan. Pero don't worry kasi madali lang naman intindihin yung ZPD. Basically, ang sinasabi lang ni Vygotsky dito, ang ZPD, ito yung mga bagay na kaya mong gawin habang inaalalayan ka. Habang tinuturuan ka ng isang tao na mas magaling sa'yo. And then, ang sinasabi niya, as time goes by, habang inaalalayan ka ng mas magaling sa'yo, darating yung point na hindi mo na kailangan yung nagtuturo sa'yo kasi kaya mo nang gawin mag-isa yun. Yun yung sinasabi ng ZPD. Ganyan daw tayo nag-i-improve. Magpapaturo muna tayo sa isang taong mas magaling sa atin until it comes to a point. Hindi na natin siya kailangan kasi natuto na tayo, kaya na natin gawing mag-isa yun. Yun yung nandito sa gray box. Mga bagay na magagawa mo lang habang inaalalayan ka, but since we are learning creatures, as time goes by, darating yung point. Kaya na natin gawin yan mag-isa. That's why kung ang figure mo, itong circle, magsisimula ka dito outside. Ito yung bagay na hindi mo kayang gawin. Pero magagawa mo kung may alalay ka, and then as you learn and learn and learn, papunta ka dito sa dark blue, one day, kaya mo nang gawin mag-isa. Yan ang sinasabi ng zone of proximal development. Kaya sabi ko dito sa slide, no, ang end goal ng zone of proximal development is kaya mo nang gawin mag-isa. Hindi mo na kinakailangan tutoran. Hindi mo na kinakailangan alalayan. In that case, masasabi natin na nagkaroon ka na ng intellectual growth. 'Di ba? Imagine those skills that you now know how to do by yourself. Ano yung mga bagay na kaya mong gawin ngayon ng mag-isa? Magsulat, magbasa, mag-compute ng numbers, dumaan ka sa zone of proximal development. Let me give you some other examples of ZPD in our everyday life, yung pagwawalis. Sino dito marunong magwalis mag-isa? Taas ang kamay? O, sa tatlong nanonood, tatlo naman ang nagtaas ng kamay. Okay naman yan. Good. Pero, looking back, pinanganak ka ba kaya mong magwalis mag-isa? Syempre hindi. Along the way, merong nagturo sa yung mas magaling magwalis. Siguro nanay mo yon, tatay mo yon, right? Tinuruan ka kung paano magwalis, and then tuwing magwawalis ka, inaalalayan ka nila until it came to a point na magaling ka na magwalis kahit wala sila sa tabi mo, kaya mong magwalis mag-isa. Yan ang zone of proximal development. Another example would be in school setting. O yung pagko-compute ng numbers. Sino dito pinanganak marunong na mag-compute? Alam na niya ang 3 times 3 equals 9. Siyempre, wala, di ba? Lahat tayo dumaan muna sa zone of proximal development. Pumasok tayo sa classroom, may pumasok na matanda doon. Yung matanda na yon magaling sa math. Yun yung math teacher mo. Right? Marunong siya mag-multiplication. Ikaw hindi. Ano ginawa ng teacher na yon? Paulit-ulit kanyang inalalayan sa pag-aaral paano mag-compute, paano mag-multiply, paano mag-divide, paano mag-add, so on and so forth. Unti-unti habang inaalalayan ka niya, habang gumagaling ka, dumating yung araw na kahit wala siya, kahit walang alalay niya, kahit walang lesson niya, kahit walang sermon niya, kaya mo nang mag-compute. In that case, nagkaroon ka na ng zone of proximal development. Kaya nga, in connection to that process, in learning numbers, no, you can also generalize this in education. Para sa mga nagtatanong, bakit ba kailangan natin ng college diploma? Ano ba ang sinasabi kapag ikaw binigyan ka ng college diploma, may ZPD dyan? Nandyan si Lev Vygotsky. 'Di ba? Kaya ka binigyan ng college diploma, bakit? Kasi napatunayan mo na kaya mo nang mag-function mag-isa doon sa major na inaaral mo. Let's say for example, psychology. Paulit-ulit, nung wala ka pang diploma, nung first year ka pa lang, second year, third year, fourth year, ano yung lagi nangyayari? Lagi kang inaalalayan ng mga teachers mo. 'Di ba? Kaya nga may mga teachers sa classroom eh. Paulit-ulit silang pumapasok. Paulit-ulit silang nagle-lecture na tinutulugan mo. Paulit-ulit silang nagbibigay ng mga exam na ayaw mo. Bakit? Kasi lahat yon, proseso yon para dumating ka sa point na kaya mo nang mag-isip in a psychological way kahit wala yung mga teachers mo. Kaya yung mga psych majors na gumagraduate na merong diploma in psychology, yun yung expected na kaya na nilang gawin. Kaya na nilang mag-isip in a psychological perspective kahit walang alalay ng mga teachers nila. Nagigets nyo? Yun yung sinasabi ng theory ni Lev Vygotsky as applied in the field of education. Kahit nga sa sports, ina-apply yan eh. 'Di ba? Halimbawa, itong si Kawhi Leonard. Tinuruan siya ni Kobe. Anong gustong matutunan ni Kawhi Leonard? Paano i-apply yung mga moves ni Kobe Bryant sa basketball. So, ano ginawa ni Kawhi Leonard? Pinuntahan niya si Kobe. So, pagdating sa Kobe moves, at the start, si Kawhi Leonard, wala pa siyang alam sa Kobe moves. Nung nilapitan niya si Kobe, anong ginawa niya? Inalalayan niya ng inalalayan si Kawhi Leonard, nagpractice sila na nagpractice ng mga Kobe moves. So, fast forward, dumating sa point na kahit wala si Kobe, kaya na ni Leonard na mag-Kobe moves. In that way, nagkaroon na ng zone proximal of development si Kawhi Leonard. Nagigets nyo? Yun yung zone of proximal development. It's a very good theory. It's very applicable in our everyday life as I am demonstrating right now. Diba? At alam nyo, kahit sa faith, kahit sa mga spiritual life natin, may ZPD. Good example dyan, si Jesus and His disciples. Si Jesus yung source of learning, of spiritual skills. Yung disciples, sila yung mga bano. Sila yung mga hindi pa magaling sa spiritual disciplines. But as time went by, etong mga disciples, habang tinuturuan sila ni Jesus, dumadaan sila sa zone of proximal development. Until it came to a point na yung mga disciples, nag-grow na sila spiritually speaking. Am I making sense? O in the spiritual realm, yung source of learning that makes ZPD possible is none other than God. Which is, by the way, si Jesus. Siya rin yun dito sa konteksto ng mga disciples. Paano natin nasabi na ang source of learning is God? Kasi ba naman, yung alam ni God, yung alam ni Lord, mas marami kumpara sa atin na mga learning creatures. As He said in Isaiah, as the heavens are higher than the earth, altogether read, so are my ways are higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts. Ibig sabihin, kung tatanggalin mo yung passage na yan, nandyan ang ZPD. When it comes to spiritual skills, the very source of knowledge that we should learn from is none other than God Himself because His ways are higher than our ways. So kung gusto mong matuto ng spiritual truths, gusto mong matuto ng spiritual skills, isa lang dapat ang source of knowledge mo, God Himself through His Word in the Bible. Kaya kapag ang isang psyche nagbabasa ng Bible, inaaral niya yung mga nakasulat doon, ina-apply niya yung mga nakasulat sa Bible, dumadaan siya sa zone of proximal development papuntang spiritual maturity that God wants for that psyche. Nagigets ninyo? Kaya even in the spiritual realm, merong zone of proximal development. So when you hear these words, walk with me, tapos ang nagsabi niyan si Jesus, what does that mean? Si Jesus, ini-invite ka na magkaroon ka ng zone of proximal development para mas maging spiritually mature ka. Para mas maging malakas yung faith mo. Am I making sense? Okay? So yun yung zone of proximal development in the spiritual realm. Going back to the disciples, ito yung end game eh. Ito yung end. Ito yung byproduct na gustong ma-achieve ni Jesus para sa mga disciples niya. He said, "Truly I say to you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater works than this will he do." Ito yung end product. Sabi niya sa mga disciples niya, kapag nagtuloy-tuloy kayo sa pag-zone of proximal development, sa pag-grow in your spiritual life through the teachings that I give you, darating yung point. Kaya niyong gawin itong mga bagay, itong mga spiritual skills na tinuturo ko sa inyo kahit wala na ako. Am I making sense? Yan yung zone of proximal development in the spiritual realm. Now, after all these examples from the spiritual to the physical world, no, ano yung bottom line na gusto kong ituro dito about zone of proximal development? Here's the bottom line. That the process of learning always require, let me repeat that, always require, sa Tagalog, laging kailangan ng source of learning. Got it? Kung gusto mong gumaling, gusto mong mag-grow, gusto mong mag-improve yung skills mo, gusto mong mag-improve bilang tao, kailangan meron kang source of learning who is better than you, who is higher than you. Everybody say better. Everybody say higher. Kaya kapag may mga tao sa paligid nyo na mas magaling sa inyo, mas big time sa inyo, mas astig sa inyo when it comes to a certain skill, huwag kayong ma-insecure. Anong dapat yung gawin? If you want to grow, gawin yung mentor. I-apply nyo yung zone of proximal development. Kaya yung mentoring na yan, isa yan sa mga sagot ng ZPD. Paano ka ba dapat gumaling sa isang certain skill? Anong sagot niya? Maghanap ka ng mentor na mas magaling sa'yo and then maging humble enough ka na turuan ka niya. Hanggang sa dumating sa point na pareho na kayo ng level ng mentor mo, hindi mo na kailangan ng alalay niya. Yan ang zone of proximal development. Again, applied in the field of sports. Kung gusto mong gumaling sa basketball, shout out sa mga gustong gumaling sa basketball dyan, taas ang kamay. Dumami na yung nanonood. Kanina 3 ngayon, ilan na? 6.5. Bakit may 0.5? Yung isa kasi, kalahati lang yung ginagawa. Kalahati lang nakikinig. Nakikinig siya habang nagluluto, kaya 6.5. Alright? Lahat ng nagsabing mas gusto nyong gumaling sa basketball, anong gagawin nyo? Siyempre, number 1, practice. Pero hindi sapat yung practice ka ng practice. Dapat, habang nagpa-practice ka, may kasama ka mas magaling sa'yo na umaalalay sa'yo habang nagpa-practice ka. Such as, for example, si Kobe Bryant. Kaya okay itong mga ginagawa ng mga bata dito eh. 'Di ba? Alam nila na lower sila than Kobe when it comes to basketball. Alam nila they are recipients of learning. At ang source of learning nila is someone who is so great in basketball such as Kobe Bryant. Yan ang zone of proximal development. Ngayon, i-connect natin to ulit sa spiritual realm. Alam nyo ba, believe it or not, meron ding zone of proximal development in the Garden of Eden. Everybody say Garden of Eden. Ito yung unang location na diniscuss sa Bible na nandoon ang presence ng mga tao na si Adam and Eve. Am I making sense? In the book of Genesis. Kaya ito yung isa ko pang sub-point in this lecture. Kung psych major ka at naniniwala ka sa cognitive psychology, naniniwala ka sa zone of proximal development, dapat maniniwala ka sa Garden of Eden. Bakit? Let me explain. Let's fast forward dito sa Garden of Eden na nandoon na si Adam and Eve. Okay? Sila naman yung main character dyan sa Garden of Eden, si Adam and Eve, no? Ngayon, ang tanong ko ito, gamitin nyo yung mga imagination nyo. Paano natuto sila Adam and Eve ng basic adult life functions? 'Di ba? Si Adam and Eve ang pinagmula ng human civilization. Para magsimula ng successful ang human civilization, merong certain skills and knowledge na dapat matutunan si Adam and Eve. Do you agree? And by the way, those knowledge and skills pang-adult. Kaya sabi ko dito, adult life functions. Kasi ako naniniwala si Adam and Eve, nung ginawa ni Lord sila, nandoon sila sa adult stage. Hindi sila nag-start as infants. Hindi sila nag-start as children. Ako naniniwala, adult sila nagsimula. Ginawa sila ni Lord na adult sila. Meron akong lecture dyan. Baka naman, i-zoom in natin. Baka naman, gusto nyong panoorin to. Adam and Eve were young adults. Yan. And explain ko dyan yung mga different reasons why I think when God created Adam and Eve, nandoon sila sa adult stage ng buhay. Okay? Pero hindi yun yung topic ko, so I will just shut up on this. Ito na lang yung panoorin ninyo. So going back to this question, paano sila natuto ng mga adult life functions para maging successful yung human civilization? Kasi kung hindi nila natutunan itong mga functions na to in the Garden of Eden, wala tayong lahat dito. Such as what? Ano yung mga functions na yan? Language. Gardening. After all, God asked them to take care of the garden. Dapat matuto sila niyan. Paano sila natuto ng agriculture? Paano sila natuto ng basic earth functions such as may day, may night? Paano sila natutong mag-procreate? Paano sila natutong magmahalan? Paano sila natuto about animals? After all, taking care of the garden also involves taking care of the animals. So dapat may basic zoology sila dyan. Anong kinakain ng animal na to? Ano yung ugali ng animal na to? Ano yung pwede mong lapitan sa hindi? Tama? Dapat alam nila yan. Hindi pwedeng pakain sila ng pakain ng different animals. 'Di ba? May iba't ibang mga diet yan. Dapat alam nila Adam and Eve yan. Oh. Paano sila natuto ng mga food na kakainin nila? Ng diet nila? Saan sila pipitas? Ano yung pwede nilang kainin? Ano yung hindi pwede nilang kainin? All of these things, Adam and Eve must know, must learn. Yun yung tanong ko kanina, saan nila natutunan yan? Paano nila natutunan yan? Dapat alam nila yan. After all, yan yung kailangan nila para masunod nila yung first commandment ni Lord. Ano yung first commandment ni Lord? Hindi ito yung sa 10 commandments ha. Meron pang unang commandment other than the first commandment in the 10 commandments na binigay sa tao. Ito yun, i-zoom in natin. Ang sabi dito, God blessed them and said to them, ito yung utos. Everybody read. Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves in the ground. I hope you can get my point. Para masunod mo yung utos ni Lord, dapat alam mo tong mga skills na to. Dapat na-master mo na yan. Hindi mo magagawa yung Genesis 1:28 kung wala kang prerequisite learning of these things. I hope you're getting my point. Kaya nga dito magiging useful in understanding what happened in the Garden of Eden, yung tinatawag nating ZPD. Diyan papasok ang ZPD. I-apply mo yung sinasabi ng ZPD, paano natutunan ni Adam and Eve yung mga skills na yan para masunod ang Genesis 1:28. Anong sagot? Ito yung model. God taught Adam and Eve these skills. These things that they have to learn, God took over. So ang higher dito, yung source of learning dito is God, who is their creator, and then yung recipient ng learning dito, si Adam and Eve. Sila yung lower. Am I making sense? So God is the source of knowledge. Mas mataas yung knowledge niya about the world. After all, siya may gawa niyan. Tinuruan niya sila Adam and Eve ng mga skills na yan, ng mga knowledge na yan, para maging efficient sila sa pag-function in the Garden of Eden to make human civilization possible. Siyempre, maraming nakataas na naman ng kilay dito. Papaano nga nangyari yan? How did God teach them these things? Actually, balikan mo yung Genesis 1:28, nandyan yung sagot. Sige nga, nasan yung sagot dyan? Hanapin nyo. Ano yung word dito that will give you a clue how zone of proximal development happened in the Garden of Eden? The word blessed. I did some research. Alam nyo ba na yung word na blessed dito sa Genesis 1:28, God blessed them and said to them. Huwag na natin pag-usapan yung said kasi ito na nga yung sinabi, yung said. Ito na yon. Pero yung blessed, alam nyo ba, ito pala yung Hebrew word ng blessed, barak. Tapos ito yung Hebrew character niyan. Huwag natin pag-usapan, hindi naman tayo hindi naman tayo Hebrew masters dito, no? Okay? Pero the word blessed here, hindi ibig sabihin yan yung blessed ng mga Pilipino, yung gano'n. O blessed na kay tito, o blessed na kay uncle. Hindi gano'n. In the spiritual level, the word blessed means to be granted with capacity. Sounds familiar? That's what happens in zone of proximal development. You are slowly being granted with capacity. Dumadami yung alam mong gawin. Inaalalayan ka na ma-master yung different skills na gusto mong matutunan. I think that's how learning happened in the Garden of Eden. Nung sinabi ng Bible, God blessed them, kasama sa blessing ni Lord, kay Adam and Eve, yung mga knowledge na to make human civilization possible. Pero specifically nga paano tinuruan ni Lord si Adam and Eve na mga skills na yan, I could think of two ways. Number one, yung old school na talagang kinoach sila, minentoran sila ni Lord. Old school. Possible. na talagang paulit-ulit si Lord, tinuruan sila ng language, tinuruan sila mag-garden, dinemonstrate siguro ni Lord paano mag-garden, so on and so forth. You get the point, no? Teaching, coaching, that's one of the ways that maybe God used to teach them these skills. Pero may isa pang way, no? May isa pang way na posibleng ito yung ginawa ni Lord, kaya natutunan ni Adam and Eve itong mga skills na to, and that is the word given. Ito kasi mas matagal yung teaching and coaching. Syempre, you need time for this. 'Di ba? Kailangan mo ng repetition dyan, kailangan mo ng rehearsal dyan para ma-acquire mo yung mga skills na yan. Pero posible kasi in the supernatural realm na ang knowledge binibigay. Ito yung instant, ito yung mabilis. Maybe God has just given Adam and Eve this set of skills. Boom! Pinasok lang niya sa psychological system nila and then marunong na sila niyan. Of course, it is not making sense in the earthly perspective, but you have to understand that the condition during this time, iba pa eh. Kasi this is before sin. This is before the fall of man. So the spiritual dynamics, the psychological dynamics here, pwedeng iba. That during this time, it's possible na ang transmission of knowledge, ang transmission of learning, instant. That God can just put this set of skills inside the psychological system of Adam and Eve. And after all, if you read the Bible, maraming beses nangyari yan na hindi kailangan ng consistent rehearsal, consistent repetition para matutunan ng isang skill. For instance, in these two passages, yung kay Solomon, kilala niyo si Solomon. Diba? Anak ni Mr. Solomon. Hindi, joke. Corny na ha. Anak ni David, si Solomon. Oh. Paano tumalino si Solomon? Because he's known as the wisest man who ever lived, right? Hindi naman siya unti-unti inaral niya lahat ng bagay sa mundo eh. Kukulangan siya ng oras pag ginawa niya yan. So paano siya naging matalino? You read this passage and God gave, everybody say gave Solomon wisdom, exceedingly deep insight, and understanding beyond measure, like the sand on the seashore. Hindi niya inisa-isa reviewin ang mga bagay-bagay sa mundo. It was all given to him by God, who is the source of all knowledge. Another example, even in the New Testament, si Jesus din nagsabi niya na, for I will what? Give you. Everybody say give. For I will give you speech and wisdom. Di ba yung speech at yung wisdom in old school way, paulit-ulit mong re-reviewin yan, paulit-ulit mong aaralin yan, paulit-ulit kang mag-e-exam dyan. But in this case, ang sabi ni Jesus, this speech and wisdom, He will give. Instant. Ipapasok na lang niya sa psychological system mo through the Holy Spirit. That none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. Yan yung tinuro niya sa mga disciples niya na natatakot humarap sa mga tao who don't believe in Christ. Bottom line dito, ang learning, ang knowledge, one of the ways that God uses para matutunan natin yung mga bagay-bagay is through divine transmission, such as giving this source of knowledge. Pero ito, regardless whether it's number 1, teaching or coaching man yan, or number 2, binigay man yan ni Lord sa mga tao, kay Adam and Eve, to learn all these things, ano ang bottom line? When it comes to zone of proximal development, merong zone of proximal development na nangyari in the Garden of Eden. Merong higher source, merong source of learning na nag-lead ng learning ni Adam and Eve to make human civilization possible. Maliwanag. Nagkaroon ng zone of proximal development in the garden. Kaya nga, mag-side comment lang ako dito, no? Ang isang application nito is, meron ding theological sense, biblical reason, why there are times you can also ask God for knowledge or wisdom. Don't get me wrong, baka may mga pilosopo dito, yung mga mag-e-exam, hindi na kailangan mag-review. Hindi na pala kailangan magpuyat sa gabi. Hindi na pala kailangan ng walang tulugang sessions kasi all you need to do is to close your eyes, ask God to give you the answers to the exam. Huwag kayo pilosopo. Mag-aral pa rin kayo sa exam. Do your part, mag-rehearse pa rin kayo mag-rehearse. But there are certain situations in life. At hindi ko na alam kung ano yung mga certain situations na yon, but God would know, na kung saan yung knowledge na kailangan mo to do something so well God will provide even if you don't study. Siguro special cases. There are special cases where God does that. That He gives you the knowledge, He gives you the wisdom that you need. Yan yung application niya ng zone of proximal development. I-skip na niya yung part na paulit-ulit mong nire-review. Okay? So that's one of the practical application. If you are in that situation, talagang may mga bagay kang dapat alam, may wisdom kang kailangan, and you really need it, pero currently wala ka, then maybe you pray about it. And if God is willing, He will be giving you the knowledge and the wisdom that you need. Maliwanag. O ngayon, i-connect natin yung lecture natin ngayon sa evolution and atheism. After all, yung belief in atheism and evolution, part pa rin yan ng cognitive psychology. Diba? Kasi sa cognitive psychology, what you believe affects what you feel and what you do. And making sense. Ang evolution, ang atheism, maraming negative effects yan sa emotions and actions. Okay? That's why we are talking about this. We are talking about the validity of that belief system called atheism or evolution. Okay? So ito na. Pag-usapan natin, no? By connecting this to zone of proximal development. Nasaan na yung slide na yun? Ito. Okay? Remember, in atheism, may assumption sila that number one, there's no God. There's no supernatural being, and number two, everything is just material. Lahat na nakikita nyo ngayon, sa paligid ninyo, human civilization, love, peace, war, mga malls, mga cellphone, all of this will not happen if not because of that physical event called the Big Bang Theory. Okay? Kaya nga for them, everything is material, walang Diyos. Lahat nagmula sa isang simpleng pagsabog somewhere in the universe billions of years ago. Yan ang atheism na sinusuportahan ng evolution. There was a random explosion, physical explosion, billions of years ago where everything started. O i-fast forward na natin. After sumabog niya, yung Big Bang, fast forward, nagkaroon ng first life. Ito na yung tinatawag nilang prokaryote cell. Ang unang cell daw na buhay. Which by the way, mag-side comment lang ako, ang ibig sabihin ba nun, posible na ang non-life, ang isang walang buhay, mag-give way sa buhay. Logically speaking, even scientifically speaking, that's not possible. Ang tawag dyan, abiogenesis. Ito yung paniniwala na pwedeng magkaroon ng buhay sa isang source na walang buhay. Yung simple example ko dito, halimbawa, kung naniniwala ka na posible ang abiogenesis, kuha ka ng isang shoebox na walang laman, maglagay ka doon ng mga bagay na walang buhay, ballpen, notebook, yellow pad, alikabok, ano ba? Walang buhay. Wire, screwdriver, yan. Ilagay mo dyan sa isang box and then wait for billions of years. Pagbukas mo yan, maya-maya, pagong na yan. Posibleng magkaroon ng pagong dyan. Posibleng magkaroon ng squirrel dyan. Am I making sense? Yun yung abiogenesis. And that's what evolution assumes na pwede raw mangyari. Hindi na lang ako masyado magko-comment dyan because that's not part of this lecture. Okay? So ituloy natin yung storya. Fast forward natin, no? May pagsabog, boom, nagkaroon ng unang cell na buhay. From here, billions of years na naman, sinasabi ng evolution, sinasabi ng mga atheists na naniniwala sa evolution, etong cell na to na buhay, maya-maya, naging tao na. Boom! The first human. Okay, maraming phases yan, pero hindi naman tayo evolutionary psychology dito. Hindi tayo master ng evolution, pero this is what they're saying. That from this simple cell, boom, nagsimula ang first human. Ito ngayon ang tanong. And we are going to use ZPD to question the validity of this claim. Alright? Ito na. Itong unang tao na to, paano nyo ngayon natutunan yung mga natutunan ni Adam and Eve? Which is, by the way, sa ibang framework yon. Creationism yun eh. Ito, walang creator dito. Out of nowhere, prokaryotic cell, nagkaroon ng unang tao. Paano niya ngayon natutunan? Ito, language, gardening, agriculture, day and night, sex, procreation, love, animals. Paano niya natutunan yung mga dapat niyang kainin at hindi dapat niyang kainin? Am I making sense? Paano niya matututunan kung walang higher being na may alam ng mga yan. It's just logically impossible. Diyan ngayon papalya yung evolution. Dito ngayon papalya yung atheism. Special mention, for example, among all this. Okay? I-zoom in natin yung language. Language pa lang eh. Isipin mo. Sabi ng mga language experts, para matuto ka ng language, it has to be social. It makes sense. Kasi ano ba use ng language? Ang use ng language for communication. At para mangyari ang communication, dapat merong more than one person na mag-uusap para gumawa ng language. Ang problema nga sa evolution, nagsimula yan, ang unang tao ng isang tao lang. Does that make sense? From this cell, naging tao, unang tao yan. So wala siyang kasama dyan. Actually, hindi pa nga sinasagot ng theory yan eh. From this first human, ito pa yung tanong dyan, yung first human ba, babae o lalaki? Diba? Bakit babae? Bakit lalaki? Wala pa silang sagot dyan. Sabihin natin lalaki. Kahit walang sagot, sabihin natin yung lalaki yung first human. Ano yung naging evolutionary process from lalaki? Paano nagkaroon ng babae? Diba sabi ng evolution, from babae o from lalaki, magiging from lalaki, billions of years magiging babae. Pero bakit sabay na nag-exist yung babae at lalaki? It does not make sense. I hope I'm making sense. Medyo naguguluhan na rin ako sinasabi ko, pero I'm sure nakukuha niyo yung point ko. The first human is just one. So wala siyang logical reason, wala siyang practical reason to develop language kung mag-isa lang siya. Sino kakausapin niya to use language? 'Di ba? Kaya kailangan nga, it's a social process, kailangan dalawa, at least yung tao. Ang evolution, naniniwala, may unang isang tao. Number 2, for language to be developed, according to language experts, kinakailangan mo ng at least 500 to 1,000 years. That's interesting. Paano nagkaroon ng English? Paano nagkaroon ng German? Paano nagkaroon ng Japanese? Kinakailangan ng 500 to 1,000 years. Ngayon, ano ang implication yan? Kung 500 to 1,000 years, hindi kayang ma-develop yan ng nag-iisang tao na buhay. Sige, pagbigyan na natin na kahit mag-isa siya, nagde-develop siya ng language for whatever reason, kahit wala siyang kausap, pero yung time frame para makadevelop ng language, masyadong matagal yan. Remember, here on Earth, meron tayong law of entropy, na lahat ng bagay sa mundo, unti-unti nasisira as time goes by, and that explains aging. So kapag in-apply mo yung entropy sa tao, hindi siya aabot ng 500 years hanggang 1,000 years para makapag-develop siya ng isang consistent language na pwedeng magamit. Yan yung problema. Language pa lang yan. Wala pa yung gardening, wala pa yung agriculture, so on and so forth. Nagigets ninyo? Kaya nga, in contrast to evolution theory, specifically dito sa language, it makes more sense to believe. Paano natuto ang tao ng language? There was the first language. And that first language was God. Creationism. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Merong isang higher being na siya mismo yung language. Siya ngayon ang gumamit ng zone of proximal development para matuto ang tao ng first language. Para matuto si Adam and Eve paano makipag-usap with each other. God is the first language. Ulitin ko, in the beginning was the Word, which is related to language, and the Word was with God. Yung language pala, alam ng Diyos, and the Word was God. Yung language mismo, si Lord mismo yon. Kaya nga, ang bottom line, ano bang tinutumbok ko dito? Ang bottom line, between the evolutionary theory and biblical creationism, Garden of Eden, which is more closer to reality, logically speaking, scientifically speaking, it's still believing in the Garden of Eden. Merong Lev Vygotsky, merong zone of proximal development na nangyari sa Garden of Eden. It makes sense kung bakit ngayon nag-e-exist ang human civilization, kasi nga na-apply ang zone of proximal development in the Garden of Eden. Kaya nga, sabi ko dito sa next slide ko, kung psych major ka at naniniwala ka kay Lev Vygotsky, naniniwala ka sa zone of proximal development, naipasa mo yung cognitive psychology mo, dapat naniniwala ka sa Garden of Eden. 'Di ba? Hindi talaga kayang mag-exist ng zone of proximal development dito sa evolutionary model. Hindi talaga. Hindi pwedeng mag-apply ang ZPD. So if ZPD is real, because of our everyday experiences in learning, then it follows that the Garden of Eden is real. Kaya nga, kung meron akong subtitle, i-retitle ko tong lecture natin. Ito yung pangalan ng title ko, Zone of Proximal Development Points to God. The fact na may zone of proximal development is a proof that indeed there was or there is the very God in the beginning. Even before time started, there is a God who started all these things, who gave us all the knowledge that we need as human civilization to prosper like this. Maliwanag. So yung mga psych majors dyan, na mas naniniwala pa kayo kay Darwin sa theory of evolution, think twice. Think thrice. Think 4 times. Because it makes more logical sense, it makes more scientific sense to believe in creationism. Merong ZPD sa Garden of Eden. Alright? So yun lang, alam kong marami na namang galit sa akin, okay lang. As I always say, hindi naman tayo nagle-lecture para matuwa kayo sa akin. Nagle-lecture tayo for me to show to you the truth. Okay? So if you have any questions, comments, future lectures, ilagay nyo lang dyan. Sir Howard here. God bless everyone. Until the next lecture. Bye-bye.